All right, guys, so as promised, we're gonna go ahead and review the coilovers on the Golf. If you guys are new to the channel, this here is my 97 Volkswagen Jetta VR6. It's on airlift bags and it has AccuAir E-level management. We're gonna go ahead and compare it to Ryan's Golf here that is sitting currently on Raceland. It's been on for about a month or so. Daily driven, slammed. There's no doubt about it. If you guys haven't seen the video, click right here, check out the video of the install. Pretty straightforward, but we wanted to go ahead and compare a $300 set of coilovers to a $3,000 bag setup so that all you guys that are on a budget can kind of compare to yourself if it's worth the money saving up and going for bags, or if you'll be able to get by on coils like this, especially if you want to go low. It's definitely going to be a review to watch. You can't really beat the price for these coilovers, so let's see if they hold up to the test. All right, guys, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take the Golf for a spin, kind of give you guys an idea of what I feel while I'm driving it, kind of give you an idea of how the coils ride. As you guys can see, they're basically totally bottomed out, but I wanted to compare it to the bags because obviously not everybody can afford to spend the money that it is for like a bag setup. And I've been a big fan of Raceland for quite some time, but I think after driving it and immediately going into the next car, I can kind of give a pretty fair comparison of the two versus the budget, how they ride and all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's get started. Oh, maybe if I had the key on. Oops. So much better with the steering wheel. Alright, so the road that we're gonna be on is actually quite a bit bumpy. So you're gonna have to bear with me, but that kind of gives you guys a better idea of the ride quality. So right off the bat, I can already tell you that it does ride a lot stiffer than the Jetta. It is definitely a lot stiffer, but to be completely honest, I've always preferred stiffer over soft. And this car rides, I don't know, obviously really low. We roll the window up here quite a bit. It's definitely a lot smoother than I would expect for a pair of budget coilovers, especially being as low as it is and riding on such fat tires. Having all that sidewall does tend to make the car a lot more bouncy. And I can feel like on certain bumps, like the rebound is quite bouncy, but it's not like bad, I guess. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's definitely manageable. When you're not running into bumps around average payment, it's pretty, I mean, I'm doing 40 miles an hour right now on a pretty bumpy road, and it's riding really well. No real like bump steer or anything like that. I will also say too, it is a lot quieter suspension wise than my bag setup. My bags tend to make a little noise that I don't really like. I've gone through and replaced pretty much every bushing, and it still has that noise. I don't know 100% why. Everything functions fine, so it's not like anything's broken, but for some reason it just likes to make noise. I feel like in the turns, if I was to take this to like Highway 49 or like the little canyons or whatever, that this would perform a lot better. There's a lot more steering input. Now, mind you, other than suspension, both cars, and the fact that one's a DR and one's a 2-liter, both cars are, other than the coils and the bags, are the same. We don't have any strut bars or anything like that. So car for car, they're pretty identical, other than the suspension setups. I could say with complete honesty, like I would have no problem driving this low every day. I've yet to bottom out, so that's a good benefit of being stiffer. With the stiffer suspension, that you can go real low and you don't have as much suspension travel, so you're not really worried about hitting so many things. Whereas like a softer spring rate, you know, the car is gonna go up and down a lot more drastically and you're gonna hit a lot of things. These are pretty stiff. I've also had the normal Racelands, not the Ultimos before, on Kelly's 2-liter, and this rides for the money 10 times better. So if you are looking at Raceland coilovers, I would definitely suggest the Ultimos over the standard. Besides the fact that they go a lot lower, if that's what you're into, it definitely rides a lot better. I would also say too that if you didn't plan on going super low, that if you had these adjusted at a more quote-unquote functional height, they would ride really well, and you probably wouldn't be able to tell too much of a difference compared to, like, say, a ground control or Coney setup. Obviously on the track use, yes, probably, but as far as driving around town and stuff, it rides really, really well. Alright guys, so now we're actually going to hop in the Jetta. As you guys know, I'm riding on airlift bags and I have AccuAir E-level management. So I kind of wanted to drive around, kind of do the same thing I did with the Golf, kind of give you an idea how it rides versus the coilovers. Obviously, these are going to ride a little bit better, and there's other functions that come along with that, as far as being able to adjust your height on the go with, you know, having a controller. I can go up and down and yada yada. But it's also a very, very big price difference between the two. So the whole idea is to kind of see if it's really worth it. Quality wise, I wish I could kind of compare it to another set of coilovers that, you know, are maybe more expensive, which would be a little better of a comparison. But anyways, let's get to it. So right off the bat, I can tell you that this car with the bag setup is louder than the coilovers. The coilovers are quieter. Obviously this car has a little bit more chassis noise than the Golf, and it's something to do with the rear, and I don't know what it is 100% yet. But the bag and the suspension itself is a little bit noisier. I don't know why. I've eliminated all the, you know, control arm bushings and replaced everything, and it still has that noise. So I'm assuming it has to do with the bag setup. So we're gonna go ahead and say it has to do with the bag setup. Ride quality wise, it is really smooth. I guess it's softer, I guess you could say, than the Golf. It feels a lot softer. It's not as stiff. The bounces aren't as harsh, and I don't feel as much of the road. So it's kind of a catch-22, or depending on what you want more. If you want more of a stiff race car feel, then the coilovers are obviously going to do that more. The steering input on this is a little more sloppy than the Golf, but not a crazy amount. Actually a little bit smoother than the road I was on with the Golf. I wasn't able to actually record it the same day, but right here it's kind of choppy, so you might be able to pick that up by the camera. The camera's doing a little bit of this. The road's kind of turfed. Guys, so I noticed after watching some of this video, before I even edited it, that there is some noise, and I wanted to explain that I built this rig here and I haven't perfected it yet, and even with everything tight, there's a little bit of a balancing here, and that's what's picking up. So I got to try to dial that in. I just wanted to apologize for the little shakiness that you can see. That's not actually the car or reflecting the quality of the ride, that's just physically this. So I'm gonna have to fix that for future videos. If you guys have any interest in something like that, the fact that I've been able to build things that for $10 or $12 versus the $200 they are online, obviously there's a little more tweaking that has to go along with these things, but it saves you a lot of money. If you're interested in that, let me know. Thanks again to Raceland for allowing us to make these videos. If you guys haven't already, check out Raceland's website, pick something up. Besides coilovers, they sell a bunch of other products. I have their downpipe currently on the Mark V. I have their coilovers on the Mark V. I've had their coilovers on a bunch of the cars I've owned, the 240, multiple Mark IIIs. It's a great product for the price. Definitely recommend them. I've ran their products back since about 2009. Definitely check them out. Again, thanks to Raceland for allowing us to make these last couple videos. If you guys haven't already, hit the subscribe button down here, hit that notification bell, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.